One of my viewers left me a very interesting question under one of my recent videos. The video was about having sex for the first time and my top 10 tips and things to keep in mind for a beautiful, successful, and good experience for both of you. And the question left underneath in the comment was sort of a two-part question. First of all, how do I know if my female partner is a virgin? And second of all, how do I know if she's not lying to me about it? And since this is something that more of you could be potentially thinking about or considering, we are going to have a chat about that today. My name is Helena Lista and I am your favorite sexologist online, and this is the place where I answer all of your questions about sex. Wondering if your new partner is a virgin is a valid question, particularly if you're both very young and maybe you yourself are a virgin and you're wondering if she's got more experience than you and whether either one of you actually knows what you're doing when it comes to having sex. So if that's the point of view you're coming from, you're caring for your partner, you're caring for her experience, you are curious about her past when it comes to having sexual encounters with other people in the past, and hence you want to provide her with a good experience with you, and knowing a bit about her level of sexual experience can be potentially quite helpful here for you. So in this kind of a situation, the only thing you can do is ask her. There is no test you can perform. There's no way to actually kind of feel and discover for yourself whether she's a virgin. I'm gonna talk about that more just in a moment. But quite literally, all you can do is ask her. And hopefully she will tell you the truth so that you will be able to have this kind of open, honest, maybe even vulnerable conversation about, both of you and just how experienced you are when it comes to sex, what both of you would like ideally to happen between the two of you, how you would like things to go, and anything else that you might need to discuss together before proceeding further and before actually having sex. Now, if you are worried that she might not be telling you the truth, that might be either because she is feeling embarrassed or ashamed because either she's already had sex and she doesn't want you to know about it, or because she hasn't had sex yet and so she's embarrassed about that, about her lack of sexual experience. She might be also not feeling safe with you to disclose that information, and because of that she's potentially lying because she's trying to tell you what you might want to hear. And if that's the case, if there is this kind of lack of sufficient trust and sense of safety between the two of you, then that's something to focus on and to work on. And that just tells me that it's way too early to think about having sex. So you really both need to create a deeper emotional connection and a lot more trust and safety in your relationship together before you even think about having sex together. But another sort of big part of this conversation is to actually look into what does it actually mean to be a virgin. Like, is it about her hymen? Are you worried that her hymen is still intact and that you might break it, or you might hurt her, or she might be bleeding, and all of that? So first of all, you won't be technically breaking her hymen because it is made of this kind of stretchy tissue. So it won't break, it will stretch. But before you even get there or anywhere near her hymen with your penis, there's a big chance that other things have already stretched it. She might have used a tampon, in which case that hymen will be stretched. She might have masturbated. She might have inserted something into her vagina for the purpose of pleasure and masturbation. But also she might have just been active fitness-wise. Even riding a bike can actually stretch and affect the hymen. And this is what makes this conversation, more interesting or potentially tricky or challenging, because if you're looking for a woman with an intact hymen, well, does using a tampon make her not a virgin anymore, or having a dildo inside, or riding a bike? Or does the experience of losing her virginity only happen if that hymen is stretched or affected by a penis, by a male penis penetrating her? But in that case, what if she's a lesbian or bisexual who's only been with women up to that point? Would you still call a virgin a woman who's had sex with multiple women? or at least just one, before being with you. And because of all these different intricacies of this matter and all these kind of side questions that come to mind, I am now starting to wonder, why do you even ask this question? Why do you care if she's a virgin or not? Because again, if you're both very young and potentially you're very inexperienced and you're worried that she might be inexperienced, or you just care about her and hence you want to know if she's been with other men before, if she's ever had a male member inside of her, if she's going to potentially experience quite a lot of discomfort because this is her first time, or or maybe not because she's already had her first time before. If any of that is the case, then absolutely fine. Have that conversation. Ask her. Hopefully you have created this kind of space of trust and safety for her where she will feel open enough and courageous enough to tell you the truth, so that you both can have a very open and vulnerable conversation here. Or is this question coming from any point of a religious or moralistic sort of principles? Do you want a virgin because your society or your tradition or your religion has taught you that a woman who's had sex is impure and hence worse than a virgin? Or do you have some kind of standard in your head that you would only be with a virgin for whatever reasons, philosophical, religious, social, and so finding out if she maybe is not a virgin would be something that you would use potentially to shame her and make her feel not good enough about herself. And I'm bringing all that up because, first of all, it is important to recognize where are you coming from with this question, but also because I have a strong sense that that question under my video was actually asked from that point of view of, I want a virgin, the woman I'm with is supposed to be a virgin, so how do I determine whether she is or she's not a virgin? And if she lies to me, like, can I still tell for myself? In which case, shame on you for upholding this kind of outdated and disrespectful ideas about women. The truth is, you have absolutely no right to ask her if she's a virgin. You have absolutely no right to shame her for her choices in the past. You have no right to look down on her because she might have fallen in love before and she might have followed the beautiful call of the romantic love and sexual love and intimacy. Besides, what about you? Are you a virgin? Because if you are requiring your woman to be a virgin while you have already slept with somebody else, then that makes you a hypocrite. And I would strongly suggest that you have a good look at yourself, that you abandon these double standards, and that you step firmly into the 21st century. Because it doesn't matter, other than for the potential matter of dealing with the lack of experience and caring for your partner from that point of view. Only in that case it matters whether your partner is a virgin or not. Otherwise, it doesn't. Why do you need to know? Why does it matter what her hymen is like? The fact of having had sex with a man in her past doesn't change her body in any way, doesn't change her heart or soul in any way. It doesn't make her impure. It doesn't make her worse off than a woman who hasn't had sex before. And this might actually blow your mind because, as I mentioned, the hymen is made of this kind of stretchy tissue, and it is possible that it still is quite intact after she's had sex with a man. The intact hymen doesn't close off the entrance to the vagina, but rather it is this kind of stretchy piece of skin that kind of sits around it. So if it is quite strong in your particular woman, then a penis going in might actually just leave it intact as well. So there is no test, there's no way for you to look at her body or examine her body and figure out whether she's a virgin or not. The absolutely only way to know is to ask her, and to create the kind of safety and trust in your relationship where you will know that she will tell you the truth. But if you are worried that she might not be telling you the truth, then you really need to work on your relationship first. You need to make sure that your romantic and emotional connection is stronger before you can start talking about having sex. But whenever you are ready for that next step and you want to know how to pleasure her like a master lover, then make sure to watch this video next.